Hi, I'm Pat Baer, and this is Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's my opportunity to talk about anime in a long-form video. I've been doing this now for 150-something episodes, and every time I do one, it's a deep dive into a subgenre, or maybe it's a review of a particular show, or looking at something that is, an obscure fact that I discovered and want to share with you. It's got different forms, but it's always me talking about anime. Except when it's not, like in this case, where I'm talking about manga instead. Got ya. This is actually Pat Baer's Manga Club. And I'm going to be doing a particular topic. I'll get to that in a moment. You saw the title. You know. But I will talk about that in greater length. I do want to just say, hey, I am currently changing up my setup when it comes to Pat Baer's Anime Club and how I record it. In this case, Manga Club. And in fact, you can tell I have a background here. And that is because I recently got a new webcam and I'm changing up the process of using that, which means that I don't want to use the background of my bedroom, and instead I will be switching in and out a variety of backdrops here that will hopefully be somewhat related to the topic at hand. And the topic of this is, again, manga, and in fact it is a fourth video about weird manga premises. That's right. I've done now, this will be the fourth one, where I talk about some weird manga premises, and in the show description below, I will have links to the other 3 videos. So if you want to take a look at those, you can, because I've talked about a wide variety of weird manga premises, and I got 4 more for you right now. And so let's get into that without further ado. Now, I've actually only read one of these, but I still feel like I can talk to you about them all, and maybe you'll go and check them out. So let's look at the first one, which is Gatchaman. Not Gatchaman, Gatchaman. This is Gatchaman, because this is a story of a guy who wakes up with his memories completely removed. He doesn't have, he's got amnesia, but it's like his actual memories are lost, and he's got a gachapon machine coming out of his chest. He is clearly a delinquent, and by using the gachapon machine, he gets weird powers that will help him out, but also he gets some of his memories back. So he wants to use the machine. And here's the twist. He can only use the machine if someone says thank you, and they mean it. So he needs to help people and do favors for people and do good deeds in order to get thank yous, which then get him gachas. But he's a delinquent, and he's under a lot of stress. And I've read a lot of this, and this premise carries. This is a great manga with, again, all of these have weird premises. This premise, I think, is really fun. It's just like an interesting choice for a shonen, for a kind of like bad character being forced to do good. I just think it's really fun, and I really like it. I think you should check it out. It's Gatchaman. Again, Gachaman, Gatchaman. Not Gatchaman, which is a different thing. But yeah, it's just such a strange, weird little thing. You should check it out. Let's talk about another weird premise for a manga. The Hating Girl. The Hating Girl is a budding romance kind of school story thing, outcasts and lonely people, the transfer student. It's just that our girl has an arrow through her head. And it's like the chapters are short and kind of silly, and it's kind of a laid-back comedy, although there are serious topics that present. Apparently, I have not read this one, but I've heard that it does get kind of dramatic as it goes, which is sounds great to me. But yeah, it's just a boy meets girl, and girl has an arrow through her head. And that's weird. That's a weird premise. That is a weird take on the genre of the, opposites attract, new kid in town. Everyone has made their decision about this girl, and she's ostracized for it, except the new person who not only helps her, but also changes the minds of other people. And it's just like, yeah, all right, I'm in for all of that. All of this sounds great. I need to track this down because it is just weird. It's just weird. Like I said, all of these are weird because it's the video is weird manga premises. As far as I know, none of these have been made into an anime because this is not weird anime premises, and it's not Pat Baer's. It's Pat Baer's Anime Club, but it's also Pat Baer's Manga Club. But maybe they have, and I've just not been aware. Let me know in the comments below if there's any. Let's talk about Shiori Experience, which I gotta read this one. You know what? Honestly, they should make an anime out of this. It sounds pretty fucking cool. So, Experience and the treatment of this manga volume may give this away, but I will start to explain it and then throw in the twist, and we'll see if you think this is weird, because I do. So, Shiori was in her, I have notes here, pardon me for this. She was in the light music club in high school, and she played guitar, and she had dreams of becoming a musician. Maybe not going pro, but like doing more music. And it's coming up, light music clubs having their first concert, her first live performance in front of people. And her life kind of gets turned upside down because her brother, who's also a musician, leaves, just flees to go to the big city, and leaves her with a lot of debt that she has to pay off. And then 10 years later, Shiori is still doing her thing. She's a high school teacher. She's trying to pay off this debt and try to live her life as best she can. And her life is just kind of boring and not what she wanted. And she's trying to pick up the pieces as best she can. And then she meets a ghost. The ghost of Jimi Hendrix. And it's the Shiori experience, so the Jimi Hendrix experience. And I think things get weird from there. Maybe you couldn't make this into an anime. Maybe you couldn't get the licensing and the songs. You only do sound alikes, and I don't know. I love this premise. I have certainly read my fair share and come across the descriptions of my fair share of manga that is like playing around with, oh, my life is boring. Oh, I met a ghost and now things are turning around. There was the anime about the idol that possesses a guy so that he can become he can be a better idol than he was because he met a ghost of that. I've certainly run into that before, but the idea of like Jimi Hendrix as a ghost and like, hey, again, I have not read this one. There is a certain part of me that worries, not wonders, worries. Is this racist? And I don't know. I can't tell you if the Jimi Hendrix portrayal here is honest and earnest and not full of perceived ideas of what his life was like and who he is that are tinged with misunderstandings of African Americans particularly and black people in general. I don't know. I don't know how this does. I don't know how Shiori Experience does in that regard. The premise is strong though, and I'm here for it. And I also loved talking about some of these here where most of these are not action series. Gatchaman is an action series, but it's such a unique idea that I definitely wanted to talk about it. But not all of these are action. In fact, that's the only action one of these four. Some of my other videos, which again, you can find in the show description below, about weird manga premises, I do lean into the weirdness of it. I do talk about like the action series, the weirdness of the action series, I should say. But this last one, which I'm going to have to really look here, because I guess I didn't practice how to say this one. I think I'll nail it though. This one, which I could not find a good photo of, so this is the best photo I could find. Kininaru Mori-san. Kininaru Mori-san is about a dude who he's in school. You can see him here. He's having trouble socializing. He's having trouble talking to people. It's rough. He's a rough time. He's in his second year of high school, but outside of tending to garden, do plants and flowers and stuff, doing gardening, he doesn't really interact with people. and he hasn't really made friends because he has a lot of social anxiety, and he's trouble. He's having trouble. He's trying, but he's having trouble. But plants work for him. And then he meets Mori-san, the Kininaru Mori-san. There's Mori-san. You can see her. She's there. And Mori-san she doesn't seem like an ice queen, but she just seems like she's got a lot going on. She's always got like a serious expression on her face. And you're waiting for the weird thing because this, looking at the image, you're just like, oh, she's kind of popular but stern, and he's like timid, and they have gardening in common, and they maybe build a relationship because they can kind of relate to one another. Yes. But when she gets nervous, she turns into a tree. And that's the part of it, is that she turns into a tree when she gets nervous. Which, of course, is weird. Weird premises, as you know. Now, the idea of maybe a look at puberty and transformation, that's not that rare. That's not that unusual. But a tree is a weird thing. That's a weird thing to turn into. And you can understand why she would be maybe drawn to a guy that seems to get along better with plants than people. And it's a great weird start for a friendship, slice of life. Maybe romance is in the air for that, probably. Mismatched pair, but the mismatch is also the supernatural element, and I like that. Again, I said that these are only one of these was action, but there is some supernatural in this one, and I'm also real into supernatural anime, so and manga, so psyched about that as well. Of these four, I'll just say right now there's four. We'll kind of wrap this up here. I have read some of Gashamon, and I would like to read more of it. I have not read any of the others. I worry about Shiori Experience, but still really good, weird premise. I would like to at least read some of Kininaru Mori-san. And The Hating Girl, I'd like to read a little bit. I don't know. I've heard about The Hating Girl before from people that have read it, so I would be interested in checking that out. And I'd like to hear from you in the comments below. Do any of these appeal to you? Would you like to check out any of these? Have you read any of these? Let me know if you've read any of these, or if you read any of the previous ones that I referenced after you watched the video. Let me know. If you have ideas for future episodes of Pat Baer's Manga Club, I'd love to hear it. I do enjoy talking about manga, stuff that I have read. Maybe I can do another recommendation of I don't necessarily want to do the apps, but what's my favorite manga right now? I could do something like that, or if there's been a manga that ended that you want to hear me talk about, a big review of a manga, I'd love to chat about that as well. I'm always looking for ideas for future videos because I have to make them every 2 weeks. I get to make them every 2 weeks. So Pat Baer's Anime Club continues as well. If you have ideas and it's not manga related but it's anime related, let me know. I have done fairly recently, the most recent one before this was a suggestion, which was to talk about some video game stuff. So I am listening and I am pulling ideas from the comments, so please let me know. I will tell you the next episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club will be recorded live on Twitch. It will happen on I don't have the actually I believe I do have this. Let's see. Yes, this is this episode. So the next slide will be Pat Baer's Anime Club episode 159, the summer wrap-up and fall preview on the 23rd. This is not the actual image. This is the 23rd. It's to remind me. I'm going to delete the part where it says 23rd. But yeah, it'll be on twitch.tv/Pat Baer. And that will be recorded live on Twitch on the 23rd of September. And then it will go live on my YouTube the following Monday, which is 2 weeks from the day this current episode shows up. And that's going to do it for this episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. Again, I would love to hear from you. Comments if you've read any of these, if you're interested in checking any of these out, if you have ideas for future episodes of Pat Baer's Anime Club. I'm all ears, and I would love to hear from you about that. Thank you so much for watching this till the end. That's real kind of you. Like and subscribe and all of that. And I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye.